just wanted to say hi.
Hi. Hi there. What? Okay.
When are you going to wreck your other
Where are you driving now, and when will you wreck it?
I'm currently driving an 06 Silver Ford Mustang because apparently logic follows that if you crash your car, your parents should give you a nicer car.
I'm sensing a theme here. Are you sensing a theme? Muscle cars, you know, like fast cars. Yes. Yeah, I like.
Montero, 300CX Ford Mustang. Oh God, if you wreck that one, you're going to a Corvette next.
No, I have not. I refuse to wreck this car. That would just be ridiculous. I can't do it. I can't.
I'm going to tell your parents to buy you a Prius. Because knowing you'll paint flames on the side and like weld wings on the side.
You want to see me just at a junkyard? I'm just removing like this huge V8 engine from like a 70s car, and I'm like, oh, it's for my Prius.
Can you see this kid? He's like 7 feet tall, crammed into a little, like one of those little teeny cars. Go ahead and pick some ice. Okay, right there.
Okay, first topic, the script. I know that you've done some stage work. Could you tell us a little bit about that? And in particular, I heard a very funny story that happened on The Crucible.
Someone help that man.
You know what? I love theater. Oh my gosh, you guys. In fact, I'll tell you something. The only downside of what I do with voice acting is that there is no chance in the world to do theater. No chance. Because theater requires such a time commitment in rehearsals and then mounting a show and like all weekend, your performances, you know, there's no way, no chance in the world that I could ever do a stage play right now. But every time I go to see one, I sit there with my hands on the arms of the chair and just digging my fingers into the arms because I miss it so much. That was where I started doing any acting, and I love it desperately. I've gotten to do a lot of great shows. I did a lot of musicals. Oh yeah. I did a lot of the classic musicals too. I haven't gotten to do as many of the contemporary ones because because they happened after I started doing this kind of thing. But like a lot of the original, like the classics, like Fiddler on the Roof, and Camelot, and Oliver, and You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Oh my gosh, what was the name of that? Oh my gosh, right out of my head. The one with the gamblers and
Guys and Dolls.
Guys and Dolls, thank you. And done some Shakespeare and done some serious theater like A Man for All Seasons and The Crucible, which of course a lot of you guys know about that. Amazing show. But one time, we had a lot of fun on The Crucible. We were always playing jokes on each other and messing with each other. But one time, let's see, let me think of what probably was the funniest thing. Probably. Well, I wonder which one I told. Do you remember? Just give me a hint. Give me a.
I believe you said that the stage can put something in.
Yes. Okay. That one. Okay. I played the first time we did The Crucible. I played John Proctor, who is like the main character, and so I mean, beard, you know, the whole works. And there was a scene where he comes in from working all day in the fields, and his wife has made him like some rabbit stew. And so we literally had like beef stew with big chunks of beef and stuff, and they would heat it up backstage and they would put it in a pot over the fire on set, and my wife would actually serve me some of this, and I would sit at the table and eat it and do the scene. Well, this one night, in the script, if you guys know The Crucible, there's a real tension between John Proctor and his wife because John Proctor had committed adultery with his with this young girl, Abigail, who used to work in their home. And they threw her out, and he was trying his best to make amends to his wife, but, she was pretty upset, and it had really tarnished their relationship. So, all of the conversation is very difficult, He's trying to be nice. He's like, thank you, this looks really good, or whatever, about the food, and trying to be overly complimentary. And so I sit down, and I take a scoop of it, and I say, it is well seasoned. And she's like, you like it then? And he's like, yes, whatever, just that kind of a thing. Not really, not really clicking, husband and wife. Well, this one night, the stagehands decided that it might be funny to play a little trick on me. So they took my stew and they poured like Tabasco sauce in it. So I'm on stage and she scoops up a little bowl for me and hands it to me, and I sit down at the table and I take a big scoop of it. I kind of look forward to this every night, this is like dinner, right? So I took a big scoop of it, and she goes, and she's looking at me waiting for my line, and I go, it is well seasoned. And she's like, you like it then? She's doing her lines, I'm going, my eyes are watering, and I can't even speak, how when it kind of, gets caught in your throat. And like the audience was dying laughing. And they thought, oh my gosh, he's making fun of his wife's cooking. But that was one funny story. One of the other funny, I just want to tell this really quick because I think they'll enjoy it. I don't want to monopolize the time, but it's a funny story. Saying from the Crucible. No! Yes, it was. When we did the Crucible, the setup was called a thrust stage. Now, you guys know a regular proscenium stage is just like the stage and all the audience is out there, like this. This would be the edge of the stage. Then there's in the round, which means that the stage is completely out in the middle of the audience, and there's audience on all four sides. And when they do the play, they block it, and they set it up to play to the different parts of the audience all the way around. Well, then there's a thrust stage. A thrust means that there's audience on three sides. And the back of the stage is against the wall, but the audience wraps around three sides. We did the Crucible in a thrust stage. One of the last nights, the video department brought in some of their TV students with 3 cameras to do a multi-camera shoot of a video recording of the play. It would give them some practice in learning their craft, and then it would give us a nice little 3-camera shoot of the Crucible. So, remember, thrust stage, 3 sides. So we had a cameraman at the top of these, the seats here, and then a cameraman right over here, like where this Silver Star balloon is, and then over here. And somebody was back behind the stage with a little switching device, and he would switch between the cameras and make a little TV show out of our Crucible performance. So one night we're out there on stage and doing this really intense scene where I think where Reverend Hale comes and Cheever comes to take my wife away. She's been accused of witchcraft now, and they come to arrest my wife, right? And we're on the stage and we're going at it. It's intense. And all of a sudden, now when a camera comes on, you guys know, when a camera comes on, the little light comes on. It's called the tally light. And it's what lets the actors know where the camera is. So like you watch a news report, and the anchorman, today in the Pacific, blah, 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 and then they'll cut to this camera and he'll go, and for more news, we go to our correspondent. He can see the little red lights, so he knows what camera is on. Well, we could see in the darkness these little red tally lights, so we knew what camera was shooting. So we're standing there, and I'm going at it with Cheever. And like right behind him, I can see this little red light. I knew this camera was on. And I'm getting, you not take my wife kind of thing. We're all in it. And then all of a sudden, we hear, and this little red light starts shaking around in the dark, and then goes and disappears. And everybody on the stage did what you're never supposed to do. We're like, you will not. Everybody stopped dead. You could not. It's like, don't look at the car wreck. You know what I mean? It's like, when you look off into the distance, the kid that was running that camera was at the top of the bleachers, and he slipped and was going off the back of the bleachers, and he grabbed the camera to stop him, and he pulled the camera and tripod right off the back of the bleachers. And it took a while to recover from that. It's like, where were we? What line were we? Who said the last line? We were just completely derailed. We had a lot of fun things
I wish
happening.
you could come to my musical.
I wish I could come to your musical. This young lady is doing a funny thing happened on the way to the forum, and you guys wish her the best of luck, and I guess break a leg is what you're supposed to
Limelight
do.
Theater, say no to see, come support us, meet the Limelight.
There you go.
Who are you playing?
Who are you playing?
I'm playing Celia. She's the main female character. She's a courtesan.
Wow! Congratulations. All right, somebody asked Aaron a question. I've been talking too long. I'm sorry.